Hello. So in this episode, we are going to continue with our code alone, and we're going to work on our Super Rails application. And we're going to fix some usability issues, add some features, and also play around with stimulus a bit. Now, at the moment, I'm not logged into the application, and actually I can see the titles and the content of both the premium posts and the free posts. So what is the point of these premium posts if we can see the content even not being logged in? We shouldn't be able to see the content of premium posts unless we can open the show action of a post. And what will we show instead of the content? We'll show the post description. Now we can either show a very short text from the post body, or we can actually add a separate field with description. And I would go with adding a separate field named description, in which we would keep some kind of search engine optimization information about our post. So kind of a description about the post. So let's add a description to our posts table. Let's say Rails generate migration, add description to posts. Description, text. Okay, we'll run the migration, Rails DB migrate. Let's have a look at the migration. I'll type Rails DB reset. Yeah, I had this problem because I have already played around with adding this migration. So, okay, I've run Rails DB reset, and I'll type Rails DB migrate. Okay, and now we're going to add this description to our posts. So we'll make it so that the description is editable. Now, first of all, we're going to our posts controller, and here we will whitelist editing the description. And going into the posts form, we will also add the description. Now let's log in and go to the posts form. Okay, opening the form, new post, we will add description. So here we have a title, we have a body, we'll also add the description. Okay, no validations right now, we can work on this later. So we have title, description, and body. Let's press create post, and you see we need a title and body to be present. Now let's add also presence validation for description. Going to post.rb, and we will validate the description, presence true. Okay, makes sense. So let's now create a post with a title, with a description, and some kind of body that is markdown. Okay, so we have created this post, and we don't see the description anywhere. So we see only the title and the body. Let's just check. Yeah, there's nowhere to show the description. Let's actually show the description in the post partial. Here's the post partial, and here next to markdown post body will display the post.description. So here's the description. And what's the problem? Well, first of all, the description looks just like the post content. So let's edit some kind of basic styling, like italics, for example. Let's add the font to be italic by default. Let's add this bootstrap clause. And have a look at it. So you see there is some additional space, and then the body starts. Okay, it's at least something. We'll work on the styling later, but if we go still to all our posts, you see, we see the description and the body, and we don't want to see the body of the post if we are not in the show action of a post. And how are we going to do this? We're actually going to say that we will show the post body only conditionally if the current controller is post and the action is show. So if controller name equals posts and action name equals show. In this case, we will show the markdown for post body. Okay, we don't see the body. We open the post and we see the body. So makes sense. And what have we done? We've basically added a description field to our post. Let's save our changes. Git add all, git commit main, add description to posts. Okay, and actually, let's add some additional validations for our posts. So you see, now we have validations only for presence. Let's also validate length. So the minimal or maximal length of title, description, and body. And let's have a look how we can add it. So we would go to the official docs for active or Rails validations, and we get this active record validations. And you see we can validate length. So let's validate the length of all these fields. So we have title, description, and body, and we will also validate length. And how do we do it? We'll say length between a few characters, or let's say maximum and minimum. We can just add a maximum, for example. So let's say maximum and an amount of characters. So for example, for the title, it will be 140, description 200, and 50,000 for the body, just as an example. And you see, we would do the same validations in the posts form. So we would add something like max length 50,000 here, max length 200 here, and max length 140 here. And if I refresh, the validations for length in the HTML should work. And we'll have validations on the HTML level and on the modal level. So let's go to edit the post and try to add some kind of really long title. You see, I can't add more than some quantity of characters physically. But of course, I can disable this in the HTML. So we have max length. Let's make it higher and try to add a few characters. You see, it works. And now if I update the post, I get this validation error that the title is too long. So this is why you should validate not only on HTML level, but also on your modal level. But you see, it's not cool that here and here we kind of physically type the maximum length. We can actually set the maximum length somewhere in one place and get it from there. So let's say max title length equals 140, and we will just get the maximum title length here, and here we'll get post max title length, and it should work just as before. And we'll do the same with description and body. So max description length equals 200, and max body length equals 50,000. Okay, and here we're just getting max body length, max description length, and here post max description length, and here post max body length. Okay, so you see, now we have just one place where we set all these conditions, and based on these conditions, we have different validations. Looks good. Let's actually save these changes. So we will say git status, git add all, git commit main, validate length of post. Okay, looks good. And now let's actually go to our post index view and have a look at it. So if we open posts index, here actually we see, you see we render the posts and we iterate with each, and we can actually accomplish the same with less code. We would just say render add posts, and it should produce the same result as above. So let's see. Now if I go to posts, yeah, let's actually reseed our posts. So I will type Rails DB seed, or actually Rails DB reset, so that they are seeded. Why don't we have any posts? That's strange. You see, 0 posts created because we have added description that should be present, but we did not add it in the seeds, and that's why we failed to create posts in seeds. So we should add description, and it would also have a few words here, like this. So now it should succeed. We shouldn't have this problem with 0 posts created. I press Rails DB reset. And you see 13 posts created. Okay, let's actually save this change. Git status. We will say git add commit main, add description to seeds. Okay, and going back, I'll say Rails server and have a look at our posts. So we should be able to see all our posts by just saying render posts. Going to add the posts, and you see we have the posts, but we just don't have the break. So we can add the break at the end of the post partial. Like this, we'll just add a break here. And I will refresh. And here we have a break after each post. So makes sense. And you see we have less code written and we render the same posts. Okay, and we can do actually the same for our users. Let's go to our users index. And here we have all this code. So let's have a look at our users. I will log in. Go into users. Okay, I will just say render users. And we render the users as before, but you see I've removed the break, so I will add the break in the user partial. Like this. And looks fine. So let's actually save the changes. I'll say git status, git add all, git commit main, better use of partials. Okay, and let's start the server once again. So you see now we have our posts, and if we go to the posts, we have our voting in different lines. Let's actually make this be in line. Now, if we open our post partial, we see there's 3 separate divs, and let's just say that we want them to be in line. So we would say div class, and it would be something like what was it? Yeah, it is dflex. Okay. So let's see if it works. Okay, so with this bootstrap class dflex, we make everything in line. Okay, looks fine. And let's try to upvote or downvote, so it works. But if I sign out and go to our posts, I actually don't see the buttons to vote, and I don't see the rating of the post. Why is it so? Well, because we check if current user, then we show everything about posts. What if we don't check for current user here? Let's see. So you see, we're trying to find voted up on, but we have no current user, so we can't access this voted up on. We're just going to check for voted up on if we have already found the current user. And same with the downvote link. We're going to check the next part of the search only if we have a current user. So let's see. Okay, no current user. I can still see the rating. I can press upvote or downvote, but nothing will change. Why? Because if we go to the console, we get this unauthorized. So everything works well. Okay, and now I will also add this free or premium label to be visible on the beginning of each post so that we can see it at once. let's just go and move this premium label to the very beginning. Okay, and actually, at the moment, our search kind of sucks. I have the search by something inside the title or by something inside a user's username. But what if we want to search premium or free, or we want to select a user from a dropdown? Let's add something like this. I'm going to our posts index, and here we will write a better search. So now we can search, have a search field for username contains, and we will create a collection select instead. So we'll say collection select username contains, and we will say user dot all. Then we get the name as the key and name as the value, and we will say include blank true. Let's see if it does anything. Okay, we have this field and we have all the users in the application. Let's select one of the users and we see his posts. We select this user. Does he have any posts? No, he doesn't. So why can't we select a user that doesn't have any posts? Let's disable this. We will get the users that have posts. We'll say something like user.includes posts dot distinct. Okay, I refresh and search. And do we still have this user? Let's see. I will unfilter everything. Do we have the user? Yes, we still seem to have the user. Okay, this should not be the case. Why do we still have the user? Yeah, I think we should have used a joins, but not an includes in this case. Let's see. Okay, and we have no option to select the user that doesn't have any posts. So makes sense, works well. Let's also do a search for the premium and the free posts. Now I will remove this label and search field, and we can select the user here, and we'll just say, instead of include blank true, we'll say search by author. Okay, and let's create a similar select, but for the post status. So how would it look? We'll say something like equals f.select, and then we'll have premium contains, no, actually equals, because it is a boolean, so it's either true or false always. And we would say we would have an array of, let's say, premium. So premium is the label and the value is true. And also we will have free as the label and false as the value. And include blank, we would say something like type or just true. Let's see if this works. I'm refreshing. And we can also have this post type. Now let's refresh everything and let's select only premium. I press premium, search, and it works. I select free and this author, and it works. So this way we have improved our search with ransack and added a few drop downs where they can be useful. Okay, let's actually save our changes. I'll say get status. I will save only the post index and say git commit main better ransack. And I will be also adding the other changes. Let's just have a look at what else we can improve right now. Yeah, actually one thing I really don't like is our footer. So I will at least add some basic styling and colors for our footer links. So if we go into Bootstrap text colors or link colors, it might give us something. Now I will refresh the search. So link color. Interesting, the search doesn't seem to be working. Let's try something else. Yeah, Bootstrap must have some kind of small downtime or something. Okay, anyway, let's go to our footer. And first of all, I will remove these favicons, and the style, the Bootstrap style should be something like link secondary or link, yeah, let's try link danger, for example. I'll refresh. Oh, and it actually works. So it is link danger, or it will say link secondary. And now let's actually also add our pricing to our footer. So here I will add a link to pricing. And here, and pricing. And let's have a look. So we don't want these to be in line, and we both want to have them as a link secondary. We will add a break. Let's see. Okay, and we'll move the pricing to be next to the terms. I mean the privacy. Like this. And let's actually add an about page. Many applications have about pages, and well, to explain what the application is about. So I will add the about path here and here. About, and go into our static pages controller, will also add an action for about. And in our roots, we'll add also a path to about. So going to config, roots, get about, and just we need a view for this. So going to our static public, we'll create about.html.erb and add some kind of basic text there. Now let's refresh and see if it works. So we have this about page. I'll just also add a break inside the footer. Okay, and looks fine. So just for the future, we'll also have an about page. And now we have a few static pages. We have about, pricing, terms, privacy, and we have our homepage. Actually, we'll also remove this homepage from our navbar. We don't need it there. It is also available like the homepage if we just click the logo. And you see we have this empty homepage. Actually, we will want to have our posts and the post search displayed on the homepage usually. Well, how can it be done? We can either redirect the posts, so make the root path lead to posts from the controller, and we can do it also in the roots that set the root to be not static public landing page, but to be the posts. Well, these are options that we can think of later. Anyway, now here we have our posts, looks kind of okay. Of course, there's still some room for improvement. We can actually remove this upvote and downvote words. We can just leave the buttons, they are self-explanatory. Okay, so I think we've done quite some work on this like basic styling. It's not something I'm especially passionate about. I mostly love creating new functionality, but let's save our changes and actually add some sprinkles of Stimulus.js into our application. So now I'm just closing all these and saving. Git status, git add all, git commit main, basic styling. yeah, not much said here. So let's say better edit an about page, navbar and footer styling, and voting links inline. Yeah, so this makes much more sense. Okay, and now let's actually add the stimulus.js to our application. So somewhere in the blog, I've got a quick guide on how we can install it. Now, we're not going to go deep into like how to use Stimulus in this code alone. Here, we're just adding functionality, and hopefully in future videos, I will go much deeper into how to use Stimulus. So now we're going to run yarn add stimulus. We're going to create a directory controllers inside our app JavaScripts. You see, we have our app JavaScripts, and here we're going to create a new folder named controllers, and inside an index.js page. Let's do that. Okay, here we have controllers and index.js. And in this index.js, we'll say we're going to add all this. So like initializing stimulus. And also inside our application.js, we will import controllers. Like this. Okay, and let's see if it works. So we're going to create a new controller, a single responsibility controller, where we're going to have an action to log hello from stimulus.js or any other text in our developer console whenever whenever this controller is initiated. Okay, so whenever we initialize this hello controller, we will add this hello stimulus in our console. And how do we initialize this hello controller? Well, we should add a div with data controller hello anywhere inside our application. So we would just add the data controller hello to anything inside any HTML page. Let's try to do that. I will start the Rails server. And actually it's going to take some time to compile because we have installed new yarn packages and we've added new files to our JavaScript, so they are being compiled. Okay, and we would go to any view, for example, posts index, and add this data controller hello. Now let's see if it will be working. So I go back to inspect, go to console, and you see we don't have anything like hello from stimulus. Let's add this to the h1 tag, for example, data controller hello. Now I refresh. And will we have something like hello from stimulus? Let's see. Okay, because I'm not on that page, I should go to posts page. So I'm going to posts, and you see, here it is, hello from stimulus. So it worked. We have installed stimulus.js. Let's actually save our changes. Let's say git status, git add all, git commit main, install stimulus.js. Okay, looks fine. And let's actually try to use it for something more than just adding lines into our console. I'll remove this. We don't need it anymore. And we don't need this hello controller. I'm removing it. And we're going to try to use stimulus. Now, first of all, we'll not write a custom stimulus controller. We're going to use an existing one. So there is this website, stimulus components, and we can use different existing stimulus components inside our application. Now, first of all, we're going to use this stimulus Textarea AutoGrow. Let's see what it does. Let's go to our new post, for example, and try to create a post. So you see, I'm typing a description with many lines, and you see, I get this scroller. And it's kind of not cool. I have to always scroll. So let's create this post and add a few additional lines. So I create the post, and you see it looks fine like this, but if I go to edit, you see I have to always scroll. It's not nice at all. And with this text area AutoGrow, it will automatically grow when we add additional lines. So it increases usability. Let's add this. How do we add it? We'll type yarn add stimulus text area AutoGrow. And then we need to import text area AutoGrow inside the JS file, so here. And also application register text area AutoGrow. Okay, now we'll start the server and try to add it somewhere. So what is the usage like? We need to add data controller text area AutoGrow somewhere. So how do we do it? Let's go to our posts form, and inside the posts form for this body, we're going to add this data controller text area AutoGrow. This is how we add it. Inside a field, we would say data. Inside we have controller, and then we have text area AutoGrow. Must work like this. So I'm refreshing the page, and it should compile, and we should get an error. Why did we get the error? So we have data controller text area AutoGrow, and what does it say? Now, what's the problem with this? A syntax error. Okay, like this, sure. Now I suppose it will work. We are compiling. And works. So you see, it is full width by default. And whenever I want to add additional lines, it works automatically. So this is text area AutoGrow, and without using any like JavaScript or CSS fancy stuff for the field, we can just make it work like this. So looks fine. Let's actually save the changes. So let's say git status, git add all, git commit main, and what have we done? We have added the stimulus text area AutoGrow. Okay, looks fine. And we will also want to actually count the characters for the fields. So for the users to know how many characters they have used, how many characters they still have left. And for this, we can also use some kind of stimulus controllers. Now, here we also seem to have this default controller, character counter. And let's try to add this and see how it works. First, I will go and have a look at the live demo. Okay, and here we are counting the characters. So, looks fine. Let's try to add the same. I will run yarn add stimulus character counter. You see, we're just adding some like basic JavaScript components that are really, really lightweight and that help us with some specific tasks. And logic is really encapsulated only in tiny places inside the application. This is really nice. Now, of course, you can always try to reinvent the wheel. You can kind of write these controllers on your own, or you can go and read the source code of how these controllers are created so that you better understand how it all works under the hood, so it isn't like magic for you. But some things that are done really well by smart people, you can understand how they did it and not feel worried that you're just doing something that you don't understand. So I'm going to add this here, import character counter, and also application register it. And how does it work? So we have this data controller character counter. Let's try to add it somewhere inside our form. So for example, here, let's just add it and see. I'm going to refresh. Okay, I'm going to start the server and wait until it compiles. And you see we need a data controller, and a Textarea has data character count target. And then we have somewhere where we have another target. So here we have input and counter. So let's see if it works with this custom HTML stuff, and then we're going to customize it for our input field. Now it is still compiling. And here we have this field where we can count the characters. Let's customize it to our field. So here we have this text field for title, and let's customize it a bit. So here we will have data character count target will be input. Let's say data, and here we'll say character count target equals input. Okay, and this will be all wrapped into the data controller character counter. And we will also have this target with the data character counter target. And in this place, like this target shows us how many characters there are. So let's add this inside the same controller. You see this should be inside the same data controller. And let's see if it works. So I'm removing this and refreshing the page. And it's broken. Let's see what we did wrong. So data input seems to work correctly. Where is the problem? Let's see. Syntax error. Again, syntax error. Let's see. So I guess here we should actually use camel case. And let's refresh and see if it works. So okay, we don't see anything. Let's try typing something. It doesn't work yet. There must be some kind of error. Yeah, so actually let's open our console. You see, when working with JavaScript, you already start needing the console. And here we actually have an error. It says missing target, character count, input. Actually, I should have used not camel case, but underscores. So we'll say character count target like this and see if it works. And you see, here are and the quantity of characters in this text area. So it works. And we can try to reuse it for our other fields. Let's do it for the description. So in description, we will also add the data, character count, and so on. Let's do this. And we're going to add this. There are so many characters. Let's see if it works at the same time. So here we have 6 and here 6. Let's save our post and update the post and go back to the form and see if it works just the same way. But it seems to be working at the same time for different fields, and we don't have to add any additional code. Let's just see. Yeah, so here we have 60 characters and here we have 16, and we will add the same for the third field, and we are good to go. So again, we are going to say data controller is going to be this one, and we're going to add this data. And okay, here you see we already have character count target, but we can add multiple data things. So let's add this and this. You see here we have one controller, and here we are going to another controller, so it should work at the same time. And let's see. I'm going to refresh and see if it works. Okay, here we have 80 characters. And does AutoGrow work? Yes, AutoGrow works. So you see, now we've added this character count to each field. Now we have this field not looking very beautiful. We can style it anytime we like, but it works well. So here you see we've added the two previously pre-built stimulus controllers to our application and integrated them, and they work just fine. So again, thanks for being with me, and have fun coding. And I can't wait till we really finish this application and start having really great posts and videos there. So bye bye.